Longevity is the new luxury. What comes to your mind?
That what it means for me is really wake up every day and feel amazing. If you eat proper balanced food and meals, you should not feel that you need a snack. Food should be enjoyable. You're absolutely right. That's basically a celebration of life.
Yeah, but sometimes you celebrate too much. Hello and welcome to $1,000,000 Style episode. I'm Eva Katana and I'm welcoming Andrea Lincoln.
Andrea Lincoln, founder of Lincoln Longevity and Barre Studio Academy, holistic wellness professional, master authentic bar trainer, and certified holistic nutritionist.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here on your podcast and just really happy to be speaking with ladies that are listening to your podcast, as we'll be talking about longevity today. And I am so passionate to share all these tips that I've been talking about for years now with ladies.
You are so knowledgeable and I cannot wait to hear your advice and your tips and tricks how to stay healthy, how to stay motivated, because women, especially after 40, I don't know how about 30 or other ages, but sometimes there's a point you just do whatever it takes. You go and you work out, you run, you walk, you eat well, you eat right, and you think you do everything right, but then you gain weight from thin air. So I think your approach is so easy, stress-free, and not only professional, but very calm and experienced in your journey. So I would love to hear your best advice, steps how to start, what does not work, and what's the real cause of doing everything but not achieving the results.
Yes, thank you. Let me just start with this. I've been looking into this for years and years, and the reality of the matter is that female body is just designed differently. We function differently. We don't work on 24-hour model as male body does. They wake up every morning, their hormone levels are fluctuating throughout the day a little bit, and then they go sleep, and then next day is the same day hormonally. Where women, on the other hand, we function on 28-day cycles. Whether it's when you're younger age or throughout motherhood, different thing, but even postmenopausal, it's changing every week. So to me, a main focus here is to realize and recognize that female body, mind, and spirit is actually designed differently than a male's body is. And so the sooner ladies get to understand themselves and understand what it takes to really start calming their nervous systems down, the better and faster they can achieve the results.
As always, men get away with it, and they get away with it easy way. I think it's not fair. So what are the steps we could do, thinking of, now hormones are betraying me, and are these really hormones which are messing things up, or we are doing something wrong?
Yes, good question. It's not like men get it easy. It's they definitely have a tough job to do, and being the leader in the society, so to speak, and they just function differently. And you see men struggle as well with weight gain in certain age and so forth. And there's several different factors, but in general, what we share is the fact that within the society, we've been taught that hustle culture is actually elevated. It's a right. And that's what people should do. And when I look at everything that's happening that's associated with hustling, basically pushing that boulder up the hill, that's why I realize and recognize that it's not the best way how we're to exist in nature. We go in a cycle. So the sooner we step into the cycle, right, the better it is. So we have the seasons, we have the days and evenings, we have the times where a body can wake up, have all the energy and do all this work, and then we get hungry and then we eat and we are to rest after our food. So for ladies to really get ahead and know is the best step is to really understand their bodies, understand who they truly are. Go inside. Think of your body as a tree, I always say. You know, the tree that has a beautiful, healthy roots around, grounded down, is the tree that then you can feed from that bottom up to a beautiful, strong trunk and the leaves, and those leaves even bear a fruit. So if you think of your body as that beautiful tree, then you start understanding what it needs and requires, where there might be a season where either within your monthly period or a season for next 5 years or 10 years where you need to be a little more cautious about certain things that you are doing, including the exercise, right? So if that makes sense. I know I said a lot here, but
Basically, what you water your plant with, the fruit you will get.
Yes, exactly.
So that's what I got. Yes.
Yeah. So those are the nutrients, right? Those are the nutrients. And then there's the pruning and take care of and different, the rest and so forth. So there are all these little modules that, few steps, few basics you can start with to really realize and recognize how your body works and what's the best for you.
Because sometimes you start to use a lot of supplements and maybe it's sometimes too much. You don't even know because you try to kickstart your metabolism. You think you want to burn more or you want to, get the nutrients better. You do this, you do that. And sometimes you get so many supplements, you're lost in them. Are there few you use for yourself, which are like top 3, which is a must? Or everybody has, of course, a different menu for supplements, but still, would it be something you would definitely recommend for every woman?
Great question. And in all simplicity, I'm known to be basically no supplement gal, so to speak. And I'm not saying that I'm completely against supplements, but first of all, before I suggest any kind of supplements, I want to know what's happening inside of body. So I want to see the tests. But in general, what I see is that back to our nervous system, Ava. I mean, think about it this way. Your nervous system is parasympathetic and sympathetic. The sympathetic is what we know a fight or flight system. And a lot of us function that way. Men, for example, can function in that sympathetic system on a daily basis. For women, especially high achieving women, they can do that for a few days in a month, but they really need to find that balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is where you basically rest. You sleep, rest, enjoy, read the book, enjoy coffee with your friends, where everything rebalances. So key is to find that beautiful balance between these two systems. And back to your question, if someone would ask me off the street saying, hey, what is the supplement you recommend? I'd say go to adaptogens. Adaptogens are herbal formulas that will support your oxidative stress, that will support basically your parasympathetic system. That's ashwagandha, that's maca, that's rhodiola, these kind of herbal supplements.
Are these like basics of nervous system?
Correct.
Like to calm down and regulate nervous system first?
Yes, on your cellular level. Exactly. So if in general, that's something that can help just about anybody. Because in general, I see in society that we just don't have the right balance between these two systems. So if you can start to regulate it, then all of a sudden you're going to find yourself enjoying your sleep more. You're going to find yourself waking up in the morning with a little more energy, right? You're going to find yourself that your hormones are getting rebalanced a little better. You're going to find that especially your hunger hormones. Like a lot of times when hormones are out of balance, we're not talking only about the sex hormones, which is, the typical estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. but there's all other hormones, including insulin and vitamin D and the hunger hormones that get out of balance if everything is out of balance. So if you start taking adaptogens, everything is slowly going to get back to balance and it's going to help you. These hormones, especially hunger hormones, they signal your brain properly when you've eaten enough.
You think it would help like women, especially high achieving women, like you look at them and they're successful, they're driven, they have high motivation, they're early, like waking up, doing everything they can, managing 3 to 5 even kids, they're great in their career, and still why they burn out so quickly, they get that fatigue, and that's not lack of motivation. They say maybe hormones are changing or something is happening, getting that tiredness, getting that even sometimes depressive mood. Can it be fixed only by regulating your nervous system, or what are other components you have to eat, like real food? You obviously are founder of Barre Studio Academy, and you're not only big motivator, but you guide people through this journey of health and fitness together in one. So all those high achieving women who you would think they have everything, they have all the motivation in the world, and they would not fall in depression, but they still do even more. So what would be your answer to that?
Yeah, great question. I love it because I work with a lot of my clients are high achieving women, and they are just as you described it. They're motivated, they're really successful, and they are managing household, they're managing children and so forth. The biggest thing I see is that proper balance between these two nervous systems. So they, for the most part, once they are in that high motivation level, it's almost like their sympathetic system never turns off, right? So it's always cortisol high, right? And then insulin high. And so back to balance on that and back to basics. I'd like to call it DRESS. DRESS. Okay. So here's the basic. And we're gonna get this is gonna bring us to fashion, which is your style. Is
all roads lead back to fashion.
Exactly.
And style, right?
I love that. I love that. So these for diet, of course. And I'd say one of the number one thing is go back to nature. Back to nature. I've always said back to nature. Listen to your body. Start eating whole foods. Everything that comes from the nature is really good for you. And listen to your body. Don't mask the symptoms. If you don't feel comfortable after certain food, even if it's a whole food, that means you could have certain sensitivity. You may have developed something. So just listen to it and don't eat that food. And then you can probably fix that later on once you figure out what is going on. So first is diet, right? Just stay smart. As we change seasons, as we get into our mid-30s, early 40s, what I see is, and I advise most ladies to really watch your alcohol intake. Alcohol is a major toxin and disruptor. Most people don't understand that because it's so heavily advertised and it's supposed to be a social, interactive thing. And I find in today's society, we're finally changing slightly where there are all these social events where you can go and have mocktails or even different restaurants order mocktails and still enjoy your company and enjoy your evening without consuming alcohol. So if you can take away lots of alcohol from your diet, that's a huge, huge improvement. That's in regards to diet. Then R stands for rest, obviously. You want to get a good night's sleep. You want to have a really good sleep hygiene. And if that's a problem, talk to professionals, talk to like holistic nutritionists like myself, talk to medical experts and so forth. The E stands for exercise, right? You could have guessed that.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise is a really important part of who we are as a mankind, as a human beings. I look at exercise as enjoyment in life. It should not be as professional athletes lifting heavy weights. For us, what really benefits, especially female body, is a mindful movement with a proper strengthening, right? And I know you hear a lot of times you need to lift heavy, and I always laugh. Listen, I lift heavy, the entire body weight of mine. Here it is in the push-ups or plank, and
For the muscle.
correct. You want to protect your muscle. You want to protect your longevity, your flexibility, basically, and your mobility. So that's for exercise. And the last two S's are basically for supplements. Supplements. So if supplements are needed, once you realize and recognize that some of your vitamins or nutrients are missing, then you can supplement it for a while. And the last one would be for stress management. So that's where that, as we started with, we basically started with discussion on that on the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So learn how to manage stress. And I'll finish with this. It's as simple as taking time for yourself. And I hear this so often where ladies I talk to, my clients, they say, I just don't have that time. And we do time audit. I do a lifestyle nutrition audits, but we also do time audit. And you would not believe how much time we find in their life, in their pockets of life. And these are high achievers, managing everything, where they're able to turn on that 10-minute breathing meditation that really helps them.
You have all these apps you can use, right? And
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's so
a little bit like that. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. So it's so important to really use all these tools that are available for us for your benefit. Education, learn about yourself, and use everything that's available for your benefit.
That's amazing. And when you hear longevity is the new luxury, what comes to your mind? I think the gears are switching, and all the appearance and all the external look takes the back seat when the health becomes priority, and it's becoming not only a trend, but it's a big thing people are investing in right now, and it's longevity, right?
Yeah, so when I hear that, what it means for me is really wake up every day and feel amazing. Amazing. Because and back to the external appearance, back to fashion and style. If you feel amazing, it's impossible to not dress well. I mean, I could be wrong here, but honestly, it's if you feel amazing, your posture is good, you have great digestion going on, you enjoy every meal you eat, you enjoy your work, you enjoy your friends, your family, conversations. That to me is a luxury in today's world where most people don't have it. And if they don't have it, they can seek a small pockets of these areas where they can improve slowly. So to me, it's wake up every day and feel amazing and for longevity, feel like that for as long as possible. It doesn't mean that you live long. It means that you live as long as possible till whenever you're living. So that if you are here at your 85 or 90 years old, you can do all the activities you want to do with ease.
Yeah, and do you incorporate for example, have you looked into that, and have you taken something from, the blue zones, what they eat? Have you incorporated something in your diet, like, purple potato, something? Of course, the movement, they move a lot in blue zones where they live. What else? Or just you to do it intuitively and based on your knowledge?
Intuition is a great way to start. I would start there, really. But you can't have a strong intuition if you truly don't know yourself. So what I see in today's world is that we are masking a lot of symptoms. Let's say I wake up with headache. People don't ask why I have this headache first thing in the morning. They go, okay, I need to take something to get rid of it, or what is going on, right? And so back to blue zones and longevity. Blue zones are amazing. I think the lifestyles are incredible. As you said, people are moving all the time, but it's because of the lifestyle. It's not like it's oh, I need to go gym, every day of it's basically they're planting the gardens, they're riding horses, they're walking, they're interacting with the communities. And they also eat whole foods. And blue zones were based on the book, and the movie was written on plant-based foods. I feel that any and all foods that come from nature that are available to us are healthy. They're really good for us. It doesn't mean that you eat overly beef or overly chicken or egg or certain plants and so forth. But what I've seen in general in nutrition, I always like to say when clients ask me, what would you suggest? What should I eat? And I said, I don't know anything about your body, but here's what I say. When you're hungry, eat vegetables.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Fill up with the
correct
with
and
celery.
right.
Because sometimes I think, that snacking is a problem when you gain weight. You don't even feel that's like a stress eating, or the snacking sometimes gains you more weight than just a meal. So if you want to go and snack all the time, so your suggestion is to grab a carrot.
Yes, if you feel that you need to snack, then it really should be addressed, because you're again back to the hormone balancing in the nervous system, right?
You're not calm when you're stressed.
Yes,
It's
so
like stress eating.
correct. So that comes in play where part of the audit. So if you want to find out why you want to be snacking right now, is it because you under stress at work, or you got some bad news about your kid at school or something, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't take this. I got to have this piece of chocolate right now. So just like you said, it's a soothing mechanism. If you eat proper balanced food and meals, you should not feel that you need a snack. Food should be enjoyable. You're absolutely right. That's basically a celebration of life.
Yeah, but sometimes you celebrate too much. You're just celebrating, you're happy, and you're eating all the time, and you let loose.
Yes. Yes, and I understand how that can happen, and
It's
just
easy.
really
It's easy.
Yeah.
And then you got to get upset because obviously it's not a good thing to celebrate anymore.
Absolutely. Well, so here's another, like I've already talked about a couple main tips in regards to nutrition, like really ease up on alcohol. If you can, there's so many people, they say, okay, I'm going to try to drink less. They have a tremendous benefits out of it. Another one is a sugar. Consumption of sugar in our society is absolutely skyrocketed. And it's a big problem. I mean, if you start looking at all the numbers, how many people are pre-diabetic and diabetic and all that kind of stuff. But in general, any kind of added sugar should not be in your diet, okay? When I say that, I mean any food that you eat that comes out of package that has sugar inside in the label, you pretty much voluntarily letting this company to put a sugar in your body if you eat it. So I'll give you an example. If I buy some granola bar and has different kind of sugar in there and I eat it, I'm letting this company say, okay, you can have the sugar in your body. If you can retrain your brain and say, of course it's healthy to eat sugar from time to time, right? But you want to be in charge of that. So make yourself your own, let's say, granola bar, and then if you feel like you need to add a little more honey or natural sugar, natural sweeteners there, then you can do it on your own and you control your intake of sugar. That actually is it's actually really beneficial for you.
About longevity, it's literally a luxury because some people cannot afford to cook at home quality meal. That's why they go to McDonald's, grab that cheap food, which is full with silicone and God knows what, because they cannot afford to cook every day at home quality meal. Same with the restaurants. You sometimes go and you don't know what they put in there. You want to have that control, that you are eating healthy, you are consuming only the healthy stuff, no sugars, no additives, preferably organic foods. So do you think the regular person has the access to longevity, which is now a luxury? Or, yeah, what are your thoughts about accessibility of longevity to all the people and their choices?
Yeah, I like to look at it this way. Longevity has been always with us, right? At the time we were born, it's here. There's a certain time here on earth, and then we're just out of here, right? And so for me, and I love the question because you took it to monetary, right? Like, and you said regular people, they'll do this and they'll go to McDonald's. And in all reality, nature and natural food is available to all of us. But what happens to us is that we are over and over bombarded by all these companies and the marketing that says, hey, listen. And this started happening in 50s really in the
It
US.
looks convenient just to go and grab something out of your car, right?
Absolutely. In 50s TV dinners, everything is prepared there, put in microwave. And then today we see Uber Eats, and first of all, we had a drive-throughs, right? All these drive-through companies that were serving meals, so-called meals, and now Uber Eats. People order all this food from everywhere. So it's the convenience of it. Now, sure, does it have the monetary mark onto it? As you mentioned, some people can afford this, some people can afford that. Can longevity be a luxury? I look at it from time point of view. I look at longevity is luxury because how much time do I have, or how much time am I willing to invest into my longevity for the fact that I really want to be feeling amazing every day of my life.
So your currency is
It's
time to gain health and longevity. So of course the movement, you can afford it for free. You can just go and move and get something healthy instead of quick fast food, which is not healthy, right? You're
Right, absolutely. I like to look at it as a time. And so that's why we say luxury, because even in today's society, we just have people are busy. Everything is happening all at once. And I like to look at it as a luxury because it almost feels like it's a luxury to really sit down and enjoy that cup of tea or coffee with your friend and have a normal conversation.
putting health, your own health, as a biggest luxury and value.
I love that. I love that. And it almost feels like an amazing closing here in our conversation because I am a huge fan of really working from the inside out. So just as you voiced, it's spending the time learning about yourself, spending a time improving yourself, exercising, spending a time cooking a beautiful meal for yourself. And when you do that, you're going to bring the most beautiful nutrients in your body to basically nourish that beautiful tree, like I was talking about earlier, so that the outwardly appearance, your skin tone, your eyes, everything is going to start looking, your hair, the quality of everything, your muscle strength, and the leanness of a muscle, and everything is just going to start looking way better. So the appearance is going to become much, much luxurious and better for the longevity, right? If you basically feed it from inside out.
I have another question regarding movement. Knowing that you are founder of Barre Studio Academy, what is the difference for people who don't know? Explain for to 5-year-old. What is the difference between yoga, Pilates, Barre, and why it would be better for someone to kickstart, the movement, because you are doing that yourself, you're bringing that to community and your clients. So how would you describe it to people who don't know, never tried?
Yes, thank you. Great question. In short, I always say that if Pilates would have a cousin, it would be Barre.
Okay.
And Barre is like Pilates on steroids. A beautiful founder and basically creator of Barre system, as we know today, Lottie Berg, she was a dancer. And so she knew a
Ballet
lot.
dancer?
Not ballet,
Because
but dancer.
I was wondering about that stick you hold on to.
Right. Yeah. So that's Barre or Barre.
Okay.
That's on the wall. That's being used in a lot of dance studios or ballet studios, right?
Yeah.
Because a Barre is there for support, right?
Okay.
It's there to hold the balance.
Mhm.
And so a lot of dancers start with this. And so that's why that's the original prop. Really, the original Barre movements are done only with this Barre prop on the wall, fixed to the wall, or it could be freestanding. And so to describe and tell you what the difference is, yoga, of course, in its own world, not knowing much about it, really great stretching, meditation, not offend anyone that's yogi here. They're going to tell me it's spiritual thing and so forth. I understand. So in all of these systems of exercises are fantastic. I am a huge believer in you as an individual need to find what is fun for you. You need to find a movement that is fun for you because that is the only movement you're going to stay with. Okay? If that makes sense.
Amazing. Yes. Now I see the difference because first I never tried actually. I want to try now.
Yes.
And I looked at it like, oh, are they doing ballet? Because on pictures you see the like legs stretched and I was like, okay, is it ballet or no? They still doing some exercise. So I was like wondering. Now I know. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. So in addition to that, it's just a little more about Barre. It's really not a ballet. No, you don't have to have a ballet background. It's basically a lot of conditioning for your body that was used by dancers because dancers, their body needs to be really
Posture?
strong. Yes.
They have to
posture, really strong core and everything. And so a lot of elements also from yoga as well and Pilates as well, because Joseph
Combining.
Pilates, so combining all these three and creating this system that we call today Barre.
That's so interesting. I need to try definitely.
Yes, absolutely. You're welcome anytime in the
Thank
studio.
you. You'll see me there. Why so many women are told that their labs are normal, but they don't feel good and something is off, you feel it, and your doctor, your primary care doctor just brushes it off?
Amazing question. Love this one. So two main factors in my answer. Number one, labs in general. What does that mean? When you go to MD, a primary doctor, what labs are they running? Is it just the basic panel or are there some extended panels? Are the hormones being tested?
Never. And you cannot get a regular doctor to like, can you check my hormones? No, why? You're fine. Your labs are fine.
So not to offend anyone in medical field, right? And of course, no one wants to do that. We love our doctors and love what they do for us. But I
Not
understand.
because
but
they're told to do certain things
Correct.
and certain protocols. It drives me nuts, especially here in the United States.
right.
It's not normal. They push you for certain things,
Right.
including COVID vaccines, including general vaccines,
Right.
telling you that your labs are normal. You don't have to look somewhere else. And if you tell them that, okay, cancer runs in my family, can you test me? And he answers, for example, I have several of you like that. They're like cuckoo. They feel that they have something and their labs are fine. So that's not normal. So of course you have to be advocate of your own health.
Yes.
Do you suggest to go to just a different doctor, push more, or to go like to special center when they test hormones and stuff
Yes.
like that?
All of the above. And that's
Okay.
what I was starting to say. Absolutely. Have a talk with your doctor and have it again if they don't listen. And if they don't, go to different medical provider. go to a naturopathic doctor, find a ways. And this all comes down to your own education, because you want to be your own agency. You want to know your body and you want to advocate for your body. And you want whoever you dealing with, talking with, whether it's your primary care provider or someone else, to take you seriously. You keep asking questions and keep finding ways. You need to be your own advocate. And I love what's happening in this industry, because now there's so many other companies that actually allow consumer to walk into clinics and do their own labs. So you want to know what your numbers are. You want to stay educated. You want to hire the right people, whether it's a holistic nutritionist or a naturopathic doctor that will help you interpret this and help you outline your lifestyle, how you can change it. And the second reason why these labs are normal, quote unquote, is because the bracket for that certain particular marker is way too wide. So in other words, it's the medical industry that's guiding this, saying the average woman in your age category in United States has been testing between number 3 and 12. And that's our bracket. Where optimally for you, maybe you should be somewhere around between 5 to 7. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And regarding cholesterol, I've heard that right now the markers are so different than they used to be. Like, for example, in older days, it was acceptable when your cholesterol is higher and considered normal. And right now, it has to be low. And if it's not, they prescribe you the most drastic pills. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so in general, and specifically for cholesterol, I don't follow this really closely. I just, from my perspective and being a holistic nutritionist, I do look at the biomarkers, of course, but I don't follow what was happening before and what's happening today, what the norms are really, what's the difference. I feel that these industries are changing based on the consumer, based on the people, based on countries and culture. And back to us and back to our longevity, as we talked about earlier, we want to be in charge of our own life, don't you? Yes. I mean, ever since we became young adults, what did we say? I want to go and live my life.
But also the doctors and the industries are pushing their narrative. For example, the food pyramid, which was introduced to everyone, only now, like 2 days ago, I read the news that they flipped it upside down, basically. So the thing you were taught that it's good and it's norm and it's, you must eat this and that, it's flipped upside down. So you never can trust people pushing you, or you cannot trust even your doctor if you don't feel that it does not align, something is still wrong and you want to find out more answers. So your suggestion is to find the doctor which aligns with you and researches your body and your results, and maybe orders more labs which you want to eliminate that you're really, really fine.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You want to find practitioner that's willing to listen to you and that can help you overall. And I'll bookend the doctors and labs this way. You are in charge of your own health. And that says the most of it, right? So we all want to know the answers. And sadly, a lot of times we get discouraged because we're not getting the answers we're seeking. So the answer would be just keep looking for professionals, keep looking who you can talk to, how you can get educated. And the reality of everything is that it's everything out there, for the most part, is a minefield. As you mentioned, the food pyramid, the food pyramid is an interesting guidance, because overall, I can tell you that being in nutrition field for a while now, I've seen people do really well on high protein diets And I also seen people do not so well on high protein diets. So in general, I know that it really depends on your microbiome and the way how your body basically takes in the food and breaks it down and uses it for nutrition to run everything energetically. So let me finish it this way. Every body is different. It's almost like it's your own little DNA system in the body. Does that make sense?
It's even the galaxy, the universe in your inside of your.
Absolutely.
So movement, nutrition, key components, and healthy nervous system is the base of longevity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Back to basics, Ava. Really. Back to basics. Back to harmony of a nature. Really. Back to basics.
Keep it chill. Meditate.
Exactly. Get a good night's sleep. Good night's sleep. Super important. That's where everything
and
really
women,
regenerates.
I've heard, need, officially they need more sleep than men. A few hours more. It was tested and research done that women require to regenerate few hours more than men.
Quite possible. I haven't read that test. I haven't read that report. But here's one thing I can tell you, and back to where we started. Women run on 28-day cycle. Okay, so think of it this way: every week, your hormones, your sex hormones, change. So let's say that when your progesterone is spiking between a days of 16 to 25, then your body requires a little more rest. So I'll have to go with that report logically based on this. I call progesterone, it's like a little teddy bear hormone. You just kind of feel like you want to rest more. You want to watch that romantic movie. You want to have that mashed potatoes with something in it and just very comfort food and be loved and have the blankie around you and enjoy more of a quiet time and more sleeping because you are preparing for another twist which is coming next week, right? So it really makes a lot of logical sense.
Yeah, you're so right. Feels like you're telling everyone to get more sleep, and it feels good because that's what we need, actually. More sleep is always good.
Absolutely. Rest. Yes, rest is really good. I always say to, especially my high achieving clients, high achieving women clients, try to find what I call it white or blank space in your agendas, in your planners. There's no planning there. Find these pockets or schedule these pockets.
What do you do in these pockets? Go move, go eat, or go sleep?
I do what I feel like doing. That's the answer. And that's why they stay white. They stay white or empty because I have no idea what I'm going to feel like.
You decide what you will feel.
Correct.
What do you want to feel?
All I know is this is my time. And when I wake up, if I'm energized, I get exercise. If I'm not, maybe I schedule a facial or massage. Maybe I'll call my friend that I haven't seen for a while because I feel like I want to have a good, healthy dose of oxytocins and really good talk with a friend over coffee and talk about our childhood memories or something like that. Because that all is really beneficial. That me time, what you want to do is super important and it really makes a difference.
For high achieving women, especially, keep those blank days. Don't fill your schedule full. It sounds good. It sounds really good because sometimes you feel you have to have motivation. You have to keep those days for gym or working out, but it also feels like burden and something pushing yourself. So keeping those blank days is a wonderful advice and idea. So,
absolutely. It's luxurious, isn't it?
It's a luxury, actually. It's keeping those blank days is a luxury, but here we go. We get longevity with that.
Yes.
It's a way to longevity. Amazing. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you.
I'm very blessed to have you here and thankful that you could share your knowledge and experience and all the advice for women. to find their best selves, to find more energy, to get their thoughts organized, and to feel their best. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
today.
It was really a pleasure. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
See you on the next one.